Hey everybody, just wanted to let you know real quick, Max Fun Drive is coming up from April 25th to May 6th. We've got great content, great events, but it won't be the same if you're not there. So join us for Max Fun Drive. We can't wait. And now, on with the show. Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all, best food color.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Hal, what would you say is the color of most of the things that you eat?
I think it's the color you. How about that? How about that color? You want to?
Wow, you're going to start the episode with swearing?
Yeah. Nobody.
Hal, there are
heard it.
kids that listen to this.
Listen, kids, the bleep, I was saying candy.
I'm laughing about this, and Hal is swearing at me because I've always joked with him that you have in the past talked about your having the palate of, what did you say, a 9-year-old?
A 9-year-old, but that doesn't mean the food has no color. You've translated that.
It's all tan foods.
It is not all tan foods.
It's all tan foods.
Okay, let's say some things that are other colors. I'll tell you if I eat it.
Okay, green.
Yes.
Well, no, look,
I said things. You just said a color.
There will be other colors in the mix of things. I'm saying by and large, it is, and I don't disagree with you eating tan food.
No,
and I think that tan and beige may very well be the winners of this episode.
God, I'm about to put my head through the computer screen.
Why are you so mad?
No, I don't just eat. I'll tell you the lunch that I had today.
Okay.
And now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, oh crap.
Go on.
This is what I did. This is a great recipe, by the way. If you have an Instant Pot out there, I guess you can make it anyway. I took chicken breast tenders, like the filet.
Sure.
And I marinated it in Trader Joe's soyaki sauce for 2 days.
So you know what you get when you mix white and brown, right?
I hate my life. But then I served it. We've served it 2 ways. Yesterday we served it over broccoli, and today we served it over green peas.
Okay.
So it was vegetables.
Look, I'm a pro vegetable guy. Inside
red apples. Did I have some chocolate chip cookie dunkers and milk earlier? Yeah. Was that tan? Sure. I just, like mashed potatoes are white. I have that sometimes. I have,
do you put gravy on them?
Sometimes.
Yeah. I'm not really a huge gravy person on mashed potatoes, actually.
No, stop smiling. Smiling. And Ken, I swear I'm going to throw your keyboard into the sea. Sitting here typing. Sometimes they're beige. Gravy makes them tan.
Look, I joke about this with you because the idea of colorful foods, you hear about it all the time, like eat the rainbow. They always say eat the rainbow.
Sure.
But we do. I do it too. I eat a ton of tan food. You know what I would love to have right now? A grilled cheese sandwich and French fries. You know what color a grilled cheese sandwich and French fries is? Beige. There's a lot of beige and tan. We should say tan or beige. That's all one thing. But I think there are food color categories that we need to talk about. What are you giggling at?
I just want to eat some raw wheat stalks and a London fog jacket. That's all I want. Starving.
And the walls of this dentist's office.
And
and an 89 Camry.
And every tile backsplash from 1999 to 2001.
Oh, man. And the lighter parts of a Tuscan painted wall. So dumb. All right. You know what? Let's start there. Why not? Let's start in Tuscany. No, I want to start with beige food. And there really is, I know it sounds silly. There is some science behind beige food and why we joke that, you've got the palate of a 9-year-old. I also have the palate of a 9-year-old, many times. But tan and beige. Well, I'll just keep saying beige because I don't have to say both. Beige is the color of a lot of kids' favorite foods because in the wild, I did not know this before today. It's a defense mechanism. When you're young, if you need to survive in the wild, you need to avoid eating anything poisonous. And green food in particular is frequently poisonous in the wild. So a kid's brain is going to gravitate toward food that looks safe subconsciously, and caveman brain is going to do that. But it doesn't hurt that bread, mozzarella sticks, chicken nuggets, popcorn, French fries, cereal, peeled apple slices, mac and cheese are all beige foods.
I had this thought of like, oh, I eat Honey Nut Cheerios. Everything I can think of, I do eat tan food. and at first I was like, yeah, that's the joke, that I eat tan foods, that I'm boring, that I'm basic, blah, blah.
I did not say boring and basic, my friend. There's nothing boring or basic about you.
If I see Ken type one more comment, he's gonna be in hand splints for 6 months. I've not been on a plane since July, and I will make a special trip. When you hear that knock at your door, man. All
right. Look, just turn the chat off. It's real easy.
You're right.
Look,
I should close.
I'm just closing the chat screen.
Close it.
There's going to be a lot of red numbers appearing at the bottom of this. At the bottom of this Zoom call by the end.
Annoy you to no end.
I don't mind a red dot. Currently, the red dot next to my emails is 3006.
3005 of those are from me.
Most likely.
In thinking about this, we're talking about the color that is like most pleasant for a food to be, right?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask.
We're not deciding this with our caveman brains.
No, but there are very healthy colors. There are very appetizing colors. And there are ubiquitous colors.
Okay.
And I don't know which of those is going to wind up being the most important. You know what I mean? Like globally, there's a great world hunger program called Bread for the World. Like bread and rice and staples are what feed the planet.
Sure.
Doritos bags are red because red is the most appetizing color and dark green is the healthiest for you. You know what I mean? So there's lots of different variables to talk about when we're trying to decide what the best food color is.
Right.
So how do you want to approach this? Do you want to try and figure out what the most important of those traits are? Do you just want to go through the rainbow and talk about some of the foods that are in each of those colors?
I feel like I'm just going, I like to like sort of just fly by the seat of my pants here, you know, and just this more than many of our other episodes has the makings of one that's like feeling it out.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, for example, I would say the answer is not blue because blue feels artificial. And it's almost always tied to raspberry. And that drives me insane because raspberries, by and large, are not blue.
No, blue raz only exists because blue food coloring existed. And yeah, I can't think of any blue foods, like actually naturally occurring blue foods that aren't purple foods. You know what I mean? Blueberries are purplish.
Blue M&Ms, the worst M&Ms.
You know, they all taste the same, right?
Not to me, they don't. Not to me. I don't want those blue M&Ms. And you know why? You know why I'm mad?
Why are you mad?
Because they replaced the tan M&Ms.
I know you love tan food.
Those tan M&Ms were great. You had tan and brown and orange in the same bag. It was like you could eat every carpet from the 1970s.
Yeah, it was an autumnal candy.
Yes.
This candy, it feels like a fall. Yeah.
The snap of warm apple cider, the crunch of the leaves between your shoes and the ground, and 3 specific colors of M&M, 4 if you count the yellow, or 5 if you count the red. And why not throw the green in there? Sometimes there's some green too. Just every M&M. Just take those M&Ms and shovel them into your mouth. Stop asking questions, dry your tears, and eat the whole bag.
Look,
M&Ms. It's fall somewhere.
There is a correct answer to the best M&M color, I think. And it is a tie between red and green, and they have peanuts in the middle, and they're in a bowl, and there's a 5-pound bag in my cabinet every Christmas.
Yes. Also, just for Christmas for me, too. That is the only time there's a giant bag of peanut M&Ms.
Do you get you can get red and green ones all year, or do you just do the big yellow bag of
I
peanut
think you
M&Ms?
can. I just get a big yellow bag, and then I eat them in order. Oh, we've talked about this. I eat them in order of my least favorite color to my most favorite color.
Well, we're talking about colors in the entire rainbow of food right now. And I think you bring up a good transition here to artificial versus natural. Do we want to limit this to naturally occurring colors in food?
No, because food can be, look, I know food can be any color because we have food coloring, but there are also general colors of food that are out there, some of which occur naturally, some of which, even though they're naturally occurring colors, are applied artificially to a number of foods. So, for example, you have orange peppers, orange bell peppers. And by the way, orange, red, yellow, and green bell peppers are all the same. That is the exact same pepper, just different, I think, levels of maturation.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all generally the same pepper. Like 3 of them are the same.
I knew that green peppers were just immature versions, or I thought
maybe that's it. But
again, as we determined on the previous episode, sometimes I'm just loud and don't know what I'm talking about.
Sure. I
But
probably
it
don't know what
becomes
I'm
right.
talking about either. I've read it a bunch of times, but I'm sure I read it incorrectly. That is to say, you have oranges, you have orange peppers, but then you also have Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
And artificial cheeses that are orange, and orange flavor ice or Otter Pops or whatever you might call them, that are much more unnatural oranges that are out in the world. But nonetheless, like, I love an orange candy. I love an orange Lifesaver. I love the little orange wrapped candies. The same ones were the best ones are the ones that look like strawberries.
Yeah. I love those. They always have those at my mailbox. They always have the red with the little green tuft on top of the,
and the seeds.
I'm not going to lie. When this topic came up, by the way, this topic was suggested by Greg on. So thank you, Greg, for this delightful topic.
Yes. Half of one of the power couples of the people of the world.
That's right.
Greg and Leslie.
It's funny that you talk about orange because the first thing that I thought of was orange as an absolute finalist.
Sure.
And I will point out specifically because some of the best artificial oranges are some of the things that are in my diet regularly and maybe should not be, like the quantity of Doritos that I eat. But also, orange foods are some of the best for you healthy foods that when it's naturally occurring. You've got sweet potatoes, oranges, carrots, mangoes, cantaloupe, winter squash, apricots. These are all naturally occurring orange foods. And habanero peppers, orange bell peppers. Yeah, orange is going to be a tough one to beat because it comes in both super healthy natural version and super not healthy and super delicious artificial version.
How do you feel about purple? Because purple's another color that is used heavily artificially, but also there are Concord grapes.
Sure.
And there are eggplants, and there are purple potatoes and purple carrots.
Yep.
Whenever I see a purple carrot or purple potato or purple cabbage, it feels like it has been dyed artificially, and I do not like it.
You just don't. Is it because of your aversion to blue foods and it's too close to blue food?
No, it just feels like, this carrot shouldn't be, even though I think carrots were originally purple. The orange carrot is the newer kid on the block.
Is it? I didn't know that.
But there's just something about a purple food that I'm like, this seems like that trick gum from Pee-wee
that Francis eats and then it makes his mouth all gross.
Yeah, from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the gum that Francis eats. That feels like that's going to happen every time I have that.
Well, look, I don't know much about thinking that purple foods are dyed, but purple foods sure as heck will dye other things.
Mm-hmm.
Blueberries will. Never wear a white t-shirt when you're eating blueberries or beets.
If you eat a lot of beets, and I would say beets are redder than purple.
Yeah.
More red than purple. When you eat a bunch of beets and you use the restroom later, remember that you ate a bunch of beets.
Oh, yeah.
Freak out.
I've had that freak out before, and I have thought to myself, oh, God, something. Nope, had beets for lunch.
That's right.
Yeah.
You had to remember.
You're such a
We're
dick.
sitting here recording this episode, and Ken shares screen and puts up a big image that says ad break.
Yeah.
So let's take an ad break.
Because we closed the chat. Ken has now just given us the giant ad break sign. All right. We will be right back after a few messages from some of the other wonderful shows on the Maximum Fun Network and some of the sponsors that bring you We Got This from week to week. We will be right back.
This episode of We Got This with Mark and Hal is brought to you in part by Trade Coffee. Mark, you have your latest shipment. You've been drinking it. What you got?
Oh, Hal. Last time I had Peixoto from Arizona. This is what I love about this is what's great about Trade Coffee is I go out to my mailbox. I haven't figured out when it's coming. So it's a delightful surprise that there is coffee in my mailbox when I go out there and I can smell it. The aroma just wakes me up. I take it inside, see who my next one is. It's always a surprise. This time it is Greater Goods Coffee from Austin, Texas. And it is for a dessert lover like me, and I know you are a dessert lover as well. It is delightfully chocolatey and rich. It's great. And I love that they're all different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they're partnering with all of these different craft roasters across the country, and you can get it whole bean or ground. Which did you get? Did you get it ground already? Did you like to grind your own beans?
I get it ground, and when I set up my profile, I let them know that I use a single pod coffee maker. So I have a reusable pod for that, and they have ground it specifically to that perfect grind for the system that I have, which is another delightful element of this. I would not know how to do that myself. They know how to do it. To be fair, they are coffee experts, and I am not.
Well, the best part is they have a coffee team that's actually taste testing all of these different coffees that they're sending, and there's no perfect coffee. We all know, like, everybody has their favorite, but there is a perfect coffee for you. Mark, are we a step closer to your perfect coffee?
I think we are. But no, you know what? We're not. Because every one of them is my new favorite coffee.
You don't want them to stop. You want to keep getting the coffee.
I want to keep getting, I don't want them to stop at all. So please keep sending them. Yeah, it's like I've always been with movies. When whatever the most recent movie I saw, that's the greatest movie I've ever seen until the next one comes in. And that's the greatest movie I've ever seen. They're all fantastic.
Be like Mark. Get the greatest coffee you've ever had over and over again with Trade Coffee. Right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/wegotthis. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free.
That's right. And that quiz that I mentioned taking where they find out all of my different preferences, go take that quiz yourself and you will find out, and they will find out what kind of coffee drinker you are, what you need, what you love, and they will hook you up.
That's right. Get started by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/wegotthis and let Trade find you a coffee that you'll love. And hey, guess what?
What?
They guarantee that you'll love your first order or they'll replace it for free. So please go to drinktrade.com/wegotthis for $30 off plus free shipping. Take the quiz and get the coffee that is right for you.
Max Fun Drive 2022 starts in just 1 week.
Monday, April 25th.
We'll have exclusive Max Fun Drive gifts, awesome episodes, bonus content, and you know what else? You'll just have to tune in.
We have some tricks up our sleeve. Sleeves? Tricks? Is it plural?
We'll catch you next week, the greatest time to support the podcasts you love. Max Fun Drive starts on Monday, April 25th.
Don't miss it.
All right, we're back.
All right. I think we've exhausted purple, talked a little bit about orange. Let's go to one of my other favorites, because this is also one that fits multiples of those categories we talked about before. I am particularly drawn to this because it is one of the most appetizing food colors, according to advertisers and brain specialists that study this stuff. It is an artificial color that I gravitate to because I'm a big fan of cherry flavored things. And it is a natural color that I gravitate toward because I am Italian. I am, of course, talking about red, tomatoes, cranberries, watermelon, tomatoes, guava, papaya, tomatoes, pomegranates, delicious San Marzano Italian red Roma tomatoes.
Those big yellow cans.
Oh, I love them. I love it. I love it.
There is something about a food that is the color red that when you see it, you instantly think, I should eat that. That would taste really good, or that would be really good for me. I would like to eat that.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they put it in all the packaging. That is a psychological reflex. It is an appetizing color, both in packaging. You know, I mean, Cheez-Its boxes are red.
Yeah.
I love back to Cheez-Its again.
But Cheez-Its are orange.
Cheez-Its are orange. So are some M&Ms.
Man, we
M&Ms?
keep going back to orange.
Middle of the pack.
Wait, where are you getting orange M&Ms?
There are orange M&Ms.
Are there?
Yeah.
Wait, in the regular pack?
Yes.
Get out of here. I thought it was red, yellow, green, blue, brown.
And red.
I said red.
Oh, and orange. Sorry. Yeah, because sometimes I'll separate out the blue and the orange because they were the colors of Syracuse where I went to college.
Oh, there you go. I have a hole in my brain where orange M&M memories should be.
I don't know.
Why did we never just have a bowl of orange M&Ms at Tennessee Vol football games?
I don't know what kind of riders are in the Vols contract.
Well, they only put that rider in there so that they would put the stadium together correctly.
Correct.
Yeah. That was how they knew.
Yeah, red foods are great.
I'm a big fan of red. Now, of course, we have to talk about the healthiest of the bunch, and that would be green foods.
Mm-hmm.
Green foods. Yeah, that is green food to me represents somewhat boring, high nourishment food.
I always like to have something green on the plate.
I'm the exact same way. Yeah.
And I love spinach. I love broccoli.
How do you make your spinach? Are you a cooked spinach and broccoli person?
Yeah, I'll do spinach as a salad sometimes, but I like to saute it with avocado oil, salt and pepper and garlic.
Ooh, avocado oil. That's a good idea.
This is something I'll do. If I make a steak, when I'm done. So part of making a steak for me is I will saute onion in the pan and then I'll do the steak and I'll baste it and do all that. And then when I take the steak out and everything, then I saute the spinach and what's left.
So you're deglazing the steak with the spinach. That is a brilliant idea.
Well, it builds in the flavor, right? You don't really need to do any seasoning of it. It's being seasoned by everything that's already been in the pan.
What kind of chump am I that I'm always doing them in separate pans? Well, you got to use the giant pan if you're making spinach because the sauteed spinach recipe is whole ass bag of spinach equals one serving.
Correct.
Yeah. You put that big bag of spinach, the whole thing, dump it into the biggest pan you've got, and you will have one deck of card sized serving of spinach at the end.
Yeah.
I do love some sauteed spinach.
I don't hate Brussels sprouts. I like them roasted if I'm going to have them at all. You know,
I mentioned boring before. Now that I'm thinking about it, some of my favorite foods are well-prepared green foods.
Yeah.
Does your green beans all-time fave?
Love them.
Love green beans. Thai. You ever have those Thai green beans? Like the red curry sauce on them?
Uh-huh.
It's like a whole dish. Like that's all it is. Just a giant plate of green beans. Yeah. And I love it.
Szechuan green beans as well at a Chinese restaurant. It's like
man.
Spice, a little sweet.
Brussels sprouts, by the way. Brussels sprouts trick. Air fryer. Cut them in half, throw them in the air fryer. Spray a little Pam on them so that the oil coat is even and not too thick. Oh, yeah, some crispy, delicious Brussels sprouts.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like green peas. I do not like asparagus. It's the only one. I do not like the flavor of it. Don't like the smell of it.
I love asparagus.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I know I'm alone, but when I was a kid, I liked spinach and most kids didn't like spinach.
Well, and you were super into Popeye.
I was. I thought it was going to make me strong.
Also asparagus, the other one that when you go to the bathroom later, you don't have to remind yourself that you had asparagus. The asparagus will remind you that you had asparagus.
Yes. There's another one that comes into play.
Consequences.
Comes back to visit. Yes, there are consequences to that food. That is it. 100% consequences.
Yeah. Green is high up on the list. I would say right now, red, green, and orange are the highest ones for me on this list. But let's talk about the non-rainbow colors that we could be looking at here. Yellow. I don't know a ton of yellow foods. Lemons, bananas, but that's the outside. The inside is
cheese.
That's true. I always think of orange as cheese though. I put cheese more on the orange spectrum. Pastas I will put in the beige. Don't try to add color to your beige palette,
queso?
Al. Queso, I'd go orange.
No.
All of these are orange. Yellow, you're eating yellow queso. You're eating watered down. You're eating watered down queso, my friend. Where are you getting this watered down queso?
No, it's you because you're doing like ballpark nacho cheese.
Yeah, that stuff's awesome. Hold on a second. The queso that you make is like yellow. Are you talking about like Rotel queso?
Yeah.
Like homemade Velveeta?
Yeah, Velveeta, yeah. That's
See, okay, let me ask you this then. What color is Velveeta?
yellow.
See, in my brain, it's orange, but it's that sort of halfway between yellow and orange.
Yeah, I think it's more yellow than orange to me.
I mean, the winner could be yellowish orange.
I mean, Swiss cheese is yellow.
I would say Swiss cheese is white. This is where that blend is between like pale yellow, beige, white, off-white. And in that category, you have everything that isn't a fruit or vegetable, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where you've got all of your grains. You've got most of your cheeses. You've got, what else? Potatoes, mashed potatoes fall into that category.
Country gravy.
Fries. Chicken breast with that soy sauce mixture that you put on it. I think the most ubiquitous food color is that off-white. Mm-hmm. Anywhere in that spectrum from brown to white.
Yes.
Which includes a lot of the pale yellows, the tan foods.
Saltines, tan food.
I do love tan food though.
Gefilte fish, tan food.
Yeah.
Salmon in the red family.
Red meat.
Cod?
Beef, red family. Cod's white. Well, that's interesting. Yes. Proteins are an interesting one in this. Because you have red meat and white meat, and pork tried to tell us it was white meat. It's not white meat.
I mean, it is in color white.
It is in color white, yeah. Well, it's pink, then it turns white.
And then, but also meat can be anywhere from red to pink to gray.
Yeah. Not a lot of gray foods make this list.
No. Oh, I just got in my mouth like that overcooked steak where it's like.
Yeah. Where it rocks on the plate.
It just leaves, even just like if it's medium well. You cut into it and it's just dry. You just take dry bites of steak and you have to put something on it.
Somehow that little bit of fat on it becomes a rind and you're like, I didn't think that steaks had rind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that for me.
Would you say that these are our finalists right now? I'm going to throw out a few.
Go ahead.
I'm going to throw out a few. We're narrowing it down.
Narrow it down. What do you think who do you think the finalists are? And I'll tell you if I agree.
I think the finalists are one of the three colors that we've talked about, red, orange, and green, and beige. As like it's like a whole other separate juggernaut. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like saying the best place to buy food. You've got this one specific market, this other specific market, this other specific market, and the grocery store. It's such a juggernaut, but is it the best? It's the color that feeds the world. I guess my question now is, do we want to eliminate and choose between those other three colors, or do we want to call it at beige?
I don't know. It feels weird to call it a beige, doesn't it?
It does.
I feel like that's the most food color.
Yeah.
Not the best.
Yeah, we want something fun as the best.
To be honest, I think I know which one I would pick out of the three remaining.
Out of the colors?
Yeah. I have one in my mind that I think I would pick. And by the way, it's very disconcerting that you took a picture of my background to be your background, but then somehow you're in a weird shadow. So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm sitting in my apartment with a single light bulb on me because I've just redone the place. So there's none of the regular light sources are available. So I have a naked bulb like I'm getting interrogated by Dick Tracy and I'm about to spill that. Wait, slow that down. Big boy did it. I think I have a color that I think is going to win as well. I think there's one we can eliminate. I think it's down to two.
Do you want to say the one? You want to try a 1, 2, 3 and see if we get it?
It'll be a short episode if we're right, but sure.
Hey, you know what? There's no time limit on being correct.
I guess that's true.
All right,
1, 2, 3. Green.
Orange.
Okay.
Whoa.
Those are the two. I knew that those were the two, and I literally arbitrarily chose. Nope, I'm not going to say literally. I arbitrarily chose between the two in that moment because I was really more interested in gauging where you were. Yeah. But I think we can eliminate red and I think we can eliminate beige. I think our best food color is going to be either orange or green.
I like orange. Yes.
Naturally occurring green is, if we're going strictly naturally occurring, I think green is hands down the winner. If we're going naturally plus artificially occurring, I think that orange might be the winner.
I think we have to go across the gamut. And that's where I think naturally orange foods are great, but artificially colored orange foods also great. Artificially colored green foods, Not always great. Sometimes it's spearmint, great. Sometimes it's watermelon, better. Sometimes
Sour
it's
apple?
sour apple, and you think it's going to be one of the others? Let down.
You don't like sour apple?
Let down. I love a sour. I mean, I love an actual Granny Smith apple. I will.
No, the fake sour apple.
Yeah, no, don't like that.
Oh, all right.
Don't want that. Lime, great.
Sure, lime's great.
Give me a
But
lime.
if you think you're going to get lime and you get sour apple, you're disappointed?
So bad. That's what they did. That's how they ruined Skittles. They took out the lime and put the sour apple in. Nobody wanted that.
I cannot.
Nobody wanted that.
The only candy where the fruit ones I can tell the difference in flavor between any of them are Starburst and Runts.
Really? Skittles, you can't.
Skittles,
tell
I
the different
cannot tell
flavors.
that they're such sugar bombs.
Do you just shovel
Sour
them all
Patch
in?
Kids, I cannot tell the difference in Sour Patch Kids. They're just sugar bombs.
Whatever you have tonight on your way home,
Mm-hmm.
pick up a package of Skittles, like a little packet, just like when you get it, and then have a cold glass of water
Okay.
and try each one at a time and use the water as a palate cleanser.
See, I guess that's when I eat Skittles, I'm horsing them.
Your horse,
I'm not eating Skittles one at a time.
I do the same thing.
I
but
assumed that, honestly, until this very moment, you just blew my mind a little bit. I assumed that all Skittles were the same flavor, M&M style.
no, they're not. Nor are they. I mean, you're really thinking of like a Fruity Pebbles, any fruity cereal that claims that like they're colored to be different fruit flavors, but they're all
Yeah.
the same flavor.
Yeah,
Fruit
I
Loops
thought
are all
that,
the
I
same
thought that,
flavor. Tricks are all the same flavor.
I thought Skittles were the Fruit Loops of the candy world.
No, they're not. They are all different flavors. And I encourage you to try it because I'd be interested to see which ones you like and which ones you don't like out of there.
Okay. I'm excited about this now. This is going to be a fun game.
Yeah. So I think when you combine the artificial and the real world
Mm-hmm.
occurrences of this color of food, I think that orange by and large is a lot more pleasing.
Yeah, all of the food colors that are the most appetizing colors are the warmer colors, reds, oranges, yellows. There are enough healthy orange foods,
Mm-hmm.
oranges, sweet potatoes, carrots, and there are enough delicious fake orange foods.
Yeah.
Velveeta, though, it's yellow orange.
I don't buy that premise, but people, the world, the greatest artificially green food / drink, we all agree, there is no arguing this, is High C's Ecto Cooler.
Sure.
But what is Ecto Cooler, I ask you? I'll answer. You don't have to, I can't hear you if you're saying something right now. It's a podcast. This is one way. What is Ecto Cooler? It is High C Orange Lava Burst with food dye in it. Orange.
Yeah.
The best color of food. Asked and answered. How about that?
How about that? We did it, Hal. Now you're making me hungry for. Damn it, Ken.
Putting a big wrap.
Yeah, we get it. We're wrapping it up.
Yeah. Ugh.
None of this can be in the podcast because it's so ridiculous.
Mm.
And why he has to screen share every time he does it instead of just turning his camera on and writing it on a piece of paper.
That's better this way.
I guess that's true. We did it, Hal. We figured out the absolute best color for food.
Completely throwing
It's
this off.
asked, and I know he's thrown us off our timing game. This topic is closed, but there are many more topics to discuss. So please reach out to us on Twitter at We Got This Tweets, or
You can email us at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com or go to our Facebook group. That's facebook.com/groups/We Got This Podcast. Discuss your favorite colors of foods. We want to know about it. Thank you to producer Ken Plume and his magical screen sharing abilities. He has his own podcast called A Bit of a Chat with Ken Plume that is well worth your time and money. He's got a Patreon. Thank you to researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kelman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
and thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world. I want to dunk you in Hal's pale yellow Rotel dip and watch sports. I always think of Rotel is for the Super Bowl. That's Super Bowl dip.
Just run.
Anyway, thank you. You're giving us a chance to sit down and talk to each other like we do every week. And every week we love it. And every week it's our chance to just cut loose and have a good time. And you are the reason we do this. And you are the reason we're able to continue to do this. And we love you all. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
We got this.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned, audience supported.